Ever wondered where the ultimate platform is to whip up your AI masterpieces? Well, today is the day we plunge headfirst into the Azure Intelligent App Stack, revealing the magical realm of intelligent applications on Azure. Get ready to discover Azure's full toolbox of services to help turn your wildest intelligent app dreams into actual intelligent app realities.
If you don't know already, Azure is the Microsoft Cloud Platform. So this means cloud services such as compute, storage, database, IoT, and obviously AI. This is a deal for creating and launching your intelligent apps globally. This is also about boosting your cloud native applications and then adding AI services on top of these and then allowing large language models to revolutionize your applications. So let's dive into the world of Azure Intelligent App Stack. I've created an infographic which you'll be able to view on the Intelligent Apps website, or there's a link in the description. It's important to view the Intelligent App Stack as your all-in-one toolkit for creating intelligent apps. So let's first dive into AI. So the first section that we're going to look at in the infographic is about AI. And we're going to touch on two different areas, so the different models, but also the different AI services. So we've got large language models from Minstrel AI, but also from Meta's Llama 2, and also a boatload from Azure OpenAI. So if you're looking for the newest models like GPT-4o, this is one place you can get this. If you are looking for a more wide array of models, you can also get a lot of this from Hugging Face, which is a part of the Azure platform. So you've got a lot of open source choice. The next thing that we need to look at is AI services like cognitive services. These are APIs that allow AI to apply language, speech, vision, and even content moderation to your applications. We've then got machine learning and AI Studio, which is about using, testing, and creating models on the Azure platform. Then we can move on to AI search, which is the vector store for vector embeddings, but also the indexing of searchable data. Now, with this section, with AI being done, let's now move on to the data section. So now let's talk about data services. So this is about focusing on data capabilities and persistence of data within your application. Currently, I've split this up into three main sections, so databases, storage, and also analytics. So when you think of databases, you think of data storage for NoSQL and SQL data. So think Postgres, Redis, Cosmos DB. And then if you also want to store somewhere for your vector embeddings, this is also a place you can do that. Also, with storage, which is the next section, this is about more focusing on services like storage accounts. So think unstructured data like images, videos, and documents. Then the final section is about analytics, and this is basically the big data processing side of Azure. So here we have Synapse Analytics and Event Hubs, but there's also some other services that you could also possibly think of as well. Okay, so now let's move on to compute. Now that we've transitioned over to compute, you'll see that this is obviously the biggest section. This has got four subsections to this, so being AI orchestration, config, and also cloud native, platform, and community. So the best way to think about this is we've got first is AI orchestration, which is about AI orchestration SDKs for popular programming languages, for example with .NET, Java, Python, and JavaScript. We've then got the cloud native platform side of things, which means that what you would tend to deploy your applications to. So best example what most people think of is Kubernetes, which is AKS, and what also is popularly used for containers, which is container apps. If you want serverless, then function apps is a good place to go. So that's, with that being said, so we also have the cloud native community side of things. So these are open source projects, which is basically things like Kubernetes and also Dapper. And then moving on from that, finally, with the config side of things. So this is config and secrets management where you can use services like Azure App Configuration and Key Vault to ensure your application's secrets and config is secure. Now let's move on to observability. Now that we've moved on to observability, just to remind people what observability means, this means basically to monitor your applications and infrastructure. So this is what Azure Monitor does. We then have Application Insight, which is a bit more about performance management and also viewing your trace logs for your applications. And then we've also got two managed services, which are normally associated around Kubernetes, which is Grafana, which is more around visualization of real-time analytics, and then Prometheus, which is a managed service for monitoring systems metrics. So with that being said, now move on to integration. Let's talk about integration. So integration is about increasing the pathways between your own applications or a third-party application. So here we've got three different services. We've got Azure Service Bus, which is about providing an enterprise message broker for message queues, but also using the publish, subscriber, and topics model. Then got Event Grid, which is basically a fully managed event routing service. But then, and also finally, we've got Azure APIM or Azure API Manager, which allows you to publish APIs to external or internal customers. But it's also got an interesting use case that enable you to also manage LLM endpoints, which I think is quite interesting, and also probably do a video on that soon. Now let's go to our final section, which is development tools. This is broken up into 4 subsections. We've got DevOps, integrated development environments, copilots, and programming languages. Starting off with programming languages, we have, I would say, probably the 4 main programming languages that people use. So if you're an enterprise developer like myself, you probably use Java or .NET. Or for most AI type of things, you've got Python, and then you've also got JavaScript as well, which is a very, very popular programming language. Moving on to copilots. So with nowadays, you need to ensure that you are working productively. Copilots like GitHub Copilot is something that's going to help you do that, and I've used it myself and I've found it to be very, very helpful. Then your IDE, obviously there's not only just 2 IDEs, but the 2 most popular is the Visual Studio family. Whatever you use would do fine as well. And then you've got the DevOps technologies. So these are things like GitHub and Azure DevOps, which might be where you put your code, also your pipelines as well. And then you've got things like the infrastructure as code tools, actually building your infrastructure, making it automated. And this consists of mainly to do with Terraform, PowerShell, and Bicep, for Azure at least. And then you need somewhere to store your containers before you deploy it, and this is where container registry comes in. But this has been the full intelligent app stack. Obviously, all these services are not required to go into your intelligent app. It's very much picked and choose from depending on your use case and your needs. If you would like to learn more, you can obviously continue on the next video that appears from this YouTube channel, or you can go on the Azure Intelligent Apps Factory.com website, where you'll be able to get your hands on many, many more topics like this, but also the infographic that I've shown throughout this whole video. So the link in the description will be that, so it will be below. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video.